Hey, it's MK, and I am here with another Follow a Sketch February, and today's sketch is this one right here, and it is by Boys Rural Scrapbooking Kits, and the sketch is by Jenny Evans. I actually had a lot of fun with this sketch. It just needed a little bit of tweaking. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of this envelope that I had put it in originally because I was pretending to pack for a crop for this month. And I cannot tell you guys how super excited I was to get all these layouts packaged up, and then I was actually excited to get to them, get to creating. So I'm just sharing with you guys what the sketch is, and today is also Get in Shape. Every Sunday we are doing a specific shape. I don't participate in every Sunday because sometimes I skip it or I forget about it, but today's shape is stars, so which is perfect for this particular layout because or sketch, because it actually has stars. So I've got a chipboard piece that is from Minte. That's a fire truck with a ladder. I thought it was absolutely perfect for my photos. I've got several scraps because this kit is actually left over from my January Baby Got Scrap kit. So all these papers were picked way back in January. I just added a few more elements to the kit, like the stars, and I think I added these wood veneer that I'm getting ready to share with you guys. But right now I'm sharing with you guys the papers and what I plan on doing with them. I don't know yet, actually, what I'm doing with all these papers. That's kind of why I'm going through them so slowly, because it's like I don't even know what I had planned for this layout in January. So I'm staring at all these papers going, what am I doing now? Like, I have no idea. All right. So from my photos, I have two photos. One is a long view of the fire truck with my kids standing in front of it, and then I couldn't see the ladder, so I took a tall view, a vertical view. And then I also have this brick wall border from Dusty Attic. I have this available in my shop if you guys are interested. I love this brick wall. It's like a broken brick wall. It is perfect for any kind of layout. I also have an orange film strip. These are the dies that I'm going to be playing with. I believe that I got this set from Close to My Heart. I honestly do not remember where I picked this set up. I am so sorry, but something tells me I want to say it's Close to My Heart, but I don't remember Close to My Heart having so many nesting dies. Usually it's just a 3-pack. So from Just Not for Boys, I have these little charms. I got 2 sets of them because I loved them so much, and a little sneak peek of what to expect in March. I have some wood veneer that are fireman related. I'm so super happy to have those coming in March in the shop, and I get to play with some of them today. I'm so excited. All right. I don't play with all of them. Clearly, I'm not going to add all of these elements to my layout, but I get to add some of them. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is divide and conquer. I had to go and get my circle dies because there are large circles. I'm going to use this brick piece for my circle dies, and then probably add the brick in somewhere. I'm going to use some paper. I'm trying to decide where I want my elements before I can figure out how the elements go. And it does take quite a while. I need to figure out what I want the stars to be cut as. I really wanted to have open stars as well as closed stars. So I wanted to make like a frame. I had to pick a paper for my photo mat. So I'm just going to use this white that looks like it's got a texture on it. And then for my strips, I was thinking about this blue, and of course my brain wants to bring it in and try to make it one whole pattern. I'm not sure yet with the strips. But I could see where it would come in handy somewhere. I really could. But now that I have everything all figured out and what I'm going to be doing as far as with which paper, it's all coming into play. So I'm going to cut out my circles really quickly, and I'm making sure that my largest circle is actually going to cut all the way around inside the brick. And then I want to cut out another circle, but not as large. And then I'm done with that brick paper. I'm not going to try to save the little scraps that are there. So I've got my circles going on, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut out my photo mats. So this one here is also very super simple. Again, I just didn't want to draw too much attention, or take away from the whole layout. I like my layouts looking, I don't want to say cohesive, but that's the only word that comes into my brain right now. So I don't want one thing overpowering another thing. I want it to all look like one complete project, like it was all meant to be together. That's what I look for in all my layouts, is so that way it all looks like it was meant to be type of thing. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and trim down my photos. I need to figure out how to trim them down to make one piece of scrap paper work. I felt like I had plenty of paper. I really could have only just cut down at the 6-inch mark, so that way I could make my 12-inch paper work. But I decided to cut down a little bit of the background noise by cutting it off on a couple of the photos. So I made one photo pretty small and then the other photo pretty tall, because I really wanted to, bring attention to that ladder, is what I was trying to bring attention to. I think ladder trucks are the coolest thing ever. We don't necessarily, I think we have one in Elko, but in all honesty, I don't think we've ever needed one, because our largest building is 4 stories tall. That's it. Still requires a ladder truck being present in the town, I believe. But I'm not really sure exactly the regulations on what type of fire truck you need based off of how many stories your buildings have, right? I don't know if it's within certain amounts of blocks or whatever. I do know that you have to have so many stations depending on how many blocks you have in a city. I do know that. So if you ever see, station 1, station 2, that sort of thing, it's because of the cities and how fast it takes your fire truck to get from point A to point B. So anyways, went ahead and die cutted out my stars, and I was just sharing with you guys how I'm going to nest them together to get my frames. But it was such a long process because I didn't have 2 papers the same. So I couldn't run 2 sheets. I had to run each individual sheet at a time, and that took forever. So now I'm moving on to the bricks. I'm going to go ahead and punch those out of their carrier sheet and then spray them with my Tim Holtz black spray. It is just black distress spray, so it's going to dry matte. It's not going to dry glossy. In fact, I don't think anything dries glossy on chipboard because it soaks in so much. But I do like how it ends up looking. And then I'm going to distress my brick paper, you guys. I really like this reddy orange color for fire trucks. I don't know why. It just makes me feel like there's my fire truck and now it's parked next to a building type of thing. I don't know. So with my fingers, because I think my tool is going to be a little bit too rough on my stars, I just went and scuffed up the inside and the outside of my stars to give them a little bit of dimension because this layout is feeling a little flat. So my first initial thought for this project was that my brick was going to be my paper strip that goes straight across the page. I can't really say it's in the center, but it's behind all the photos, and then you have all these elements coming forward. But once I add everything to it, I really cover up a lot of those bricks, and I'm kind of partial to those bricks, and I don't want to cover them up. And then I add my other piece of paper, and now it's starting to look just more like a fence. And I just thought, no, it's not the look I was going for. And if I put my bricks on top, then it's definitely not the look I'm going for. I do have 2 branding strips that are from a Paper Rose paper. That's that reddy orange solid branding strip. And so I'm going to try to make it look like it's my large piece of paper, but I can't get it to go wide enough. Plus I have that hole in the middle because my other blue piece of paper, or oxidized paper, I should say, is just not long enough. So it's just not working. To be honest, it's just very frustrating that it is not quite working yet. And I'm going to go ahead and skip that part, skip trying to figure out how to get my paper to go together, how to get that strip to go across. And I'm going to add, I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'm going to add my stars. Now, I picked out 3 different papers for my stars, and the first 2 were an old ledger paper that just had a bunch of measurements. It was almost like a math sheet, old math sheet workbook, and then it had what looked like pencil marks in it, somebody trying to do the work in the book. And then, of course, this what looks like pavement, it looks like a road to me. This gray. And so I really liked that too, because again, you've got your brick building and then your road that it drives on. So that's where I was going. I know it's so silly, but that is where I was going with my stars. And I thought, okay, well, I got to figure out my paper first. And then I will figure out where I'm going with the stars, because once you start adding a ton of elements to your layout, that's where it starts getting super tricky. Now I switched my my circles. I was supposed to have my large circle over on the left and my small circle over on the right, and I didn't even notice it. So I'm just going to keep going with it. It'll work out just fine. This large fire truck is going to be the center of my title. I just don't know exactly where my title is going to be. So right now I have the fire truck pointing in the same direction as my photos. I don't end up liking that very much. I absolutely love these little flames that come with the fire extinguisher and the fire hydrant. I just thought those were super cute. And then I'm going to pull out these little charms that have, I think, axes, another flame, and then another badge. And I've got this word that spells love, and it's the boots and the badge, the hose and the axes that make up the word love. And I thought, oh, that is the perfect title. I really do, because I'm a big fire truck lover. When I used to be on the emergency rescue team in the job I used to have, it was my favorite job, is to get called out on the fire truck. Now, normally it's because of a fire, not because of a medical emergency. We normally didn't call out the fire truck for a medical emergency. And so it's just super fun being able to bring out this fire truck and splash water on stuff. It's not fun for the equipment to burn and things like that, but running this truck is awesome, you guys. I actually went to Philadelphia and took a class on how to operate the pump portion of the fire truck. Driving the truck is just like driving a service vehicle, having your CDL and whatnot. I mean, driving a big truck is easy. Maybe not this long. We don't have this long of a fire truck, so I don't know how to drive one that long. Ours was a standard size as far as a semi goes. And so I was used to that and had a blast driving it. But then to operate the pump portion, I went in for a week over at Philadelphia and had to take a class. And oh, it was so much fun, you guys. I could not even tell you how much fun it was to take that class and learn all the ins and outs and how complicated it actually is to operate the pump side of that truck. I mean, you definitely need to be the pump operator. And it was a huge responsibility, and I absolutely loved it, you guys. I really did. All right, so finishing off this layout, I have pulled out my wood veneer, went through and decided I wasn't sure if I was going to use the front of the truck that says "Be Brave," because I really did like how that front of the truck turned out. But I have to say that it really wasn't about being brave. It just really didn't go. And then the other one is a title, and it says "Fireman First In, Last Out." I really do like that one as well, but it really wasn't about the fireman either. I really liked the badge that said fire department, but I felt like it was too big for my layout. And I really, really liked when I put down the word love and how it looked. So I just couldn't pass up the word love. It fills in the gap between the film strip and the fire truck and the border strips that I'm using really, really well. And then I decided to bring in a little bit of my brick just enough to where I wasn't covering it all up. And it also fills in that gap between the film strip and the paper strips beautifully. So I decided to use the white stars with what looked like plumbing on there. And it's actually a paper rose paper, and it is from the paper pack called Blueprints. The gray stars are actually Cocoa Vanilla from the Boys Rule collection, if you guys are curious. So I decided on the blueprint paper because I thought, oh my gosh, these are perfect because they're almost like the piping in the building. I know my brain works really weird, you guys. I'm just saying, the things that go through my brain when I pick and choose what goes on my layouts is out there. It really is. Like, it's a far stretch on why you picked that one piece of paper to go on that layout. But for this one, I felt like everything had a meaning, a really good meaning. And so, of course, the brick is the building, the stars are the pavement and the pipes, and the other brick is, I'm actually thinking that it's the fire escape. I know. I'll just stop while I'm ahead. I really will. And then, of course, I loved all the little flames, adding all the little flames all the way around and getting them to play on the layout was just super fun. I did take my paint pen. Now, I use what's called Tooli Art, TOOLI-ART, Tooli Art paint pens. They are very cheap, very affordable. I buy them on Amazon. And I absolutely love coloring my wood veneer to give it life. I really do. All my wood veneer has masking on the front, so I peeled off all the masking. And then, of course, they all are adhesive on the back. Some of my acrylic pieces have masking on the front and the back. Some of them don't have masking at all. Some of them just have the masking on the back, but they do not have any adhesive on them. So it just depends, honestly, on the brand of acrylic. I am trying to work through all of my previously purchased acrylic because I finally found a brand that is perfect for scrapbooking. But sometimes it comes with a masking and sometimes it does not. All right, so I decided I did not like the fire truck pointing in the same direction as the ladder in the pictures. So when I sprayed it black, I decided that it was going to go in the opposite direction, and I like that much more better. I really, really do. And I absolutely love seeing the word love all painted up and ready to go. That was so fun watching that come to life. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my layout by inking it with whatever leftover black ink was on my sponge from I don't know what project. I just felt like the stark off-white border of this paper was a little bit too much. So that is it for my layout. I had so much fun, even though it was moving and shifting and deciding and all the things. Like, it took a long time to take off, but in the end, it was awesome, and I felt like it was all the right decisions. I had a blast. So here is the layout one last time, or the sketch, I should say. Don't forget to check out all the links down below. I have one for Follow a Sketch February. I also have one for the Get in Shape group. So there's lots of links down below for the Get in Shape group. And yeah, of course, my own links are down there if you guys are interested in finding the shop or my other social medias. It's just one link. You click on that and then you decide where you want to go from there. All right, you guys, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later.